Hello, welcome back to my channel. So today I planned on filming a houseplant tour. There's about a little over 50 plants to go over, but it's a really gloomy day. Can't help it, so I'm just gonna go ahead and film and hope it comes out really well lit and nice. It doesn't look that bad right now, so maybe it won't be that bad. So hopefully this video provides some context for which plants I have, what conditions they live in for my future videos or any video. Okay, so we're gonna start out in the living room. This is the corner and the mirror that's in most of my posts on Instagram or videos on Instagram, so it feels like the right place to start. And let's start with the queen herself, my giant Monstera. I love her. So most of this plant is just a regular green Monstera, but there's one offshoot that is variegated. She's the only variegated Monstera I own, and she's beautiful. And then this is the newest leaf. It shows some variegation, but you need to wait for it to harden off for this variegation to become more pronounced. But I love her. She's the best. She has a lot of leaf damage from the store. I got her at Home Depot, so she wasn't in the best condition, but she's living, she's thriving, she's huge. And then here's my almost dead Calathea. This plant doesn't usually live here, but I was just filming for Instagram with it, so she's here. She's hanging on, about a year old. That's my cat's tree. He loves it and just hangs out there. He loves the plants, so he hangs out with the plants in there. This is a Begonia Immaculata, I think whitey eye, but I mean it wasn't labeled, so I'm not sure. And she has beautiful leaves, like these beautiful spots. I love it. This is the plant that probably started my love for begonias. And then here's my little avocado seedling that I grew from this seed. It was a Trader Joe's avocado. I waited for the perfect tasting avocado to then grow it out, because I hope in like 10 years when I can finally eat the avocados from this, they'll be delicious, like the one avocado I ate. Here's the potted up Hoya Odorata from my last video where I unboxed it. I think it's doing fine. It hasn't put out any new growth, but that's to be expected. Let's finish up this area first. So there's a little humidifier going back there that goes almost all day because it's so tiny. I plan on getting a bigger one that can control humidity better. This is a variegated peace lily, one of the newest plants in my collection. I love the texture of the leaves and the beautiful variegation that almost looks like a fabric of some sort, like a lace or something. It's just a beautiful plant. I think this is the domino variegated, but I am not sure, so I will look it up. And then my beautiful prized possession, the Philodendron Pink Princess. This is the newest leaf, and it's working on putting out another down there. I've air layered it, and I debated whether I should invest in one of these plants because it's the most expensive plant in my collection right now. I have a very basic common houseplant collection, so it took a long time to settle on getting it, but I regret nothing. It's just such a beautifully speckled leaf, and just I love the pink. This plant has not disappointed. It's just so beautiful. And then one of my favorite basic houseplants, the Monstera Adansonii. I believe this is the narrow form. I made this moss ball myself to go with the plant. I just wanted it to be able to climb. There's a yellow leaf that I will remove at some point, but it started out so small. I think, yep, it was only this big when I got it, so these two leaves and all these smaller leaves, and then all of this is new growth. This is its newest leaf. This plant is constantly putting out new leaves. Like you just unfold and you're already putting out another leaf. Like, relax, plant. But I love it. I mean, I'm not complaining. I love watching these leaves unfold because of their little holes. They're just so cute. I'm hoping it'll cover the whole moss bowl eventually. And the last one on the shelf here is Refidophora Tetrasperma. I got this from a local plant store named Stump in Philadelphia. They have the most beautiful plants. This is its newest leaf, and for the longest time it didn't do much as soon as I brought it home, but more recently it just started sprouting new leaves. So this was its newest leaf that it put out about a week ago, and then it already has another one, and I'm sure it'll have another one soon. Now moving on to the little space between the window and the shelf. So I have the only cactus in my collection, a little Bunio cactus. I love it because it's so cute. It looks like it's saying hi, like it's two little arms. It's the cutest. And then scallions, green onions, whatever you call them, just because they need to live somewhere, so they live in a vase with water. Here's my little bear paw succulent. It's adorable. I just love how fuzzy these leaves are and super soft. And then another Hoya from the Hoya haul. If you haven't watched it, I hope you do, because that's the haul that started my Hoya collection, or expanded it. And then this is another succulent, a Crassula strayi. This was a gift, and it hasn't grown or done anything yet, so but it's pretty new. So I'm gonna wait and see. And then over on this side, I have a sago palm that doesn't do much but is beautiful. So I love it. I let it live here. And then Christmas cactus or Thanksgiving cactus, one of those. I think it's a Thanksgiving cactus because of how pointy these little leaves are. There's a little propagation in there. A ZZ Raven that's putting out some new growth. I had wanted one of these forever, so when they finally hit Home Depot and Lowe's, I ran to get one. And then my most recent begonia that had been struggling at the store, so I got it at a discount so that I could just bring it home and rescue it. Yeah, it's been losing leaves from just whatever damage it suffered at the store, but then it's also putting out some new leaves, like this little stem that had nothing and now it has 2 leaves. And then this is my only Syngonium, but I love Syngonium and I want a few more. I just haven't gotten around to buying more, but I love how it's always growing. It's beautiful, and the little blush on it. It's a beautiful plant. In my favorite planter, moving on to the hanging plants. So this is a Scindapsus pictus. I believe Silvery Ann, but I am not sure which type it is because they all look so similar to me. I am not an experienced Scindapsus collector, but I do love them and hope I can get more soon. I just love how full this plant gets, and it's constantly putting out new growth and little dying leaves, but is always growing, so I am not worried. So I had to stop filming for a bit because the ice cream truck got really loud. But moving on to this beautiful plant that has restored my faith in prayer plants. I love how beautiful Mirantos look. I'm just gonna take it off its hanging pole. The leaves are just beautiful and perfect in so many colors. It's always putting out new growth. Like I see like at least 4 new leaves coming right now. It's beautiful and magnificent and huge, and I love it. And the last plant I have in this area is this golden pothos. It's huge and kind of droopy because it needs to be watered, but it's usually really stand up and looking full. And I love how big these vines have gotten in just a few months. I haven't had this for too long. I believe I bought it in the fall, so it's been here about like 6 months, but it's gotten much bigger than it used to be. And then right down from there is my little propagation corner, or plants that are just tiny and still growing. So I'm propagating some Miranda leaves, a Philodendron Brazil, Scindapsus, the Begonia, or even ZZ. There's a Hoya multiflora from the Hoya haul video, and spider plant. This is doing the best. It has so many roots already, and I only put it in here a few days ago. Okay, so now we're in my bathroom. I have learned over time that this is where all my Hoya thrive. So I have a few Hoya here, and I plan on moving most of them in here as I keep making room. So there's a Hoya Kentiana right here that's putting out some new baby leaves. There and there. A Hoya Carnosa Crimson Queen that just put out this new leaf. I think this leaf is also new, yeah. And then this little new stalk. A Hoya Carnosa compacta, or oh, oops. Okay, it had a new leaf, now it doesn't. But yeah, it's a new plant in my collection, so I'm sure it'll grow. That's a little string of pearls propagation I have with a stray flower. And all the way back there is my little snake plant, the only one I have, but it has made me fall in love with them and I want to get some more. And then this is my jalapeno plant. It's putting out a new pepper right now. Actually, 2 new peppers. There was one here. The jalapenos it puts out are extremely spicy but delicious, so I keep growing it. And the bathroom is somehow the only place it'll survive. I put out a few pepper plants in the living room and they all died. This is the only place for them. I also have some Cilantro Starts that are putting out their first little curly leaves. They're so cute. And then once they're big enough, I'll put them in a different pot and start some more cilantro in here. And then up here is my Crinkle 8 that's also pretty happy. It has only been here for a few weeks now, and it's working on some new leaves. And then up there I have a little hanging pot with some marble queen pothos that is quite young and still needs to grow. So we're on to the final portion of my plant door. This is the last spot where I keep all my plants. And here's my feather leaf fig. It used to have 4 plants in one pot, but then I cut this one to propagate it, and it has a new growth point, so it might come back and I might have 4 plants again. And I'm considering cutting it again because it hasn't put out any new growth since spring began, and cutting it usually helps with its growth. With this specific plant, like, that's not general fiddle leaf fig advice, it's just for this plant. It likes growing once it's been cut. I have some Hoya from my Hoya haul video planted in here. There's a few different types in here because I didn't have enough pots, so they're all living in here for now, and then I'll put them up in individual pots as I find them. Okay, so this is the coffee plant that usually sits up there. It looks kind of dry, but I think it's still happy because it's putting out new growth. It's just the driest plant in my collection. I have to water it every single day. I drench it, and 2 days later it still looks like it's been starving. It just needs all the water. It like dries out completely. Here's a little pothos propagation from the giant plant in the living room, and I have another little propagation of the same pothos down there. There's some Hayworthia down there, and I have very few succulents in my collection because I'm not the best at caring for them, but these 2 have survived my care. And some string of turtles that's very new and just getting settled in, so I can't wait for it to get beautiful and long and flowy. There's some more propagations in here, an African violet leaf, and some sedum, I believe, and then I don't remember these still. This is a Chinese perfume plant, or Aglaia odorata. It blooms, it's supposed to bloom throughout the year. It bloomed last summer and then it hasn't since, but I think it'll bloom again soon. And that's my little mini terrarium with a lemon button fern and my Begonia Immaculata in there. The lower shelf has another Calathea, lancifolia or rattlesnake Calathea, and Anthurium pedato radiatum, which is the only anthurium in my collection. Another begonia. This was the first begonia I ever got. It's a Rex begonia, I'm not sure what type, but I love how beautiful and glittery its leaves get. It died back a lot and I thought I was just bad at begonia, but I think it was just the weather. It dies back in the winter and then just starts putting out a ton of new growth in the spring. There's my Ficus altissima. Love how beautifully variegated these leaves are, and it has a little baby leaf coming out right now. And an Alocasia poly or Amazonica. that hasn't done much in a while. Honestly, I do not believe alocasias ever really want to live. They're one of those plants that just wishes it didn't exist because it just stops growing as soon as I get it. This is a Philodendron that didn't have any identification on it, but I think it's a Xanadu because I got it around the time when Xanadus just started showing up everywhere in all the stores. I usually use the bottom shelves on all my plant stands or shelves for storing supplies, so that's what that is. This is the Calathea mosaica on network Calathea. That seems to be happy. And a Ficus elastica burgundy. I think there's quite a few plants in there. Like, I have never counted all of them, but it's stuffed full. It seems to be doing okay. It's pretty new. It's only been here a few weeks, so we'll see how it adjusts. And then up there I have my Staghorn Fern Kokedama. I soak this in water twice every week, and that seems to be enough because it does put out quite a few new leaves, so it's getting enough water. And then this is the biggest Hoya I have, or the fullest Hoya I have. It's a Hoya Carnosa Crimson Princess. Just gonna put it on my cat's little cat tree. I love how it has so many of these weird leaves. There's one, there's another one that had like a weird shape and two little things. There were quite a few right here. Just need to find them. And then this is the last plant in my collection that we're gonna look at today, and it's a Hoya australis, just a regular green Hoya australis with beautiful little baby leaves. It's just throwing hands everywhere, and that's it. That's the last of this collection. Oh no, I missed a plant. So back there is my Pilea peperomoides. I love this plant because it's just always happy putting out new little leaves that come out shaped like little tacos and then turn into these spaceship discs. It was much smaller when I found it in the store, but it has grown a lot since then. And then this pot just contains some little Philodendron Brazil propagations that I rescued from someone's trash. Well, they had a little sign that said free plants, and it had a few cuttings in there, and they were just dying. So I took the cuttings and cleaned them up, and they've been growing. I believe that really is it. That's all the plants I have. So that was all the plants. I hope that was fun and enjoyable and not too long. I feel like I've been talking forever. Like, I'm tired of talking, but I hope that it wasn't too long or boring, and I hope that was entertaining. If you like this video, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And you can follow me on Instagram, where you can look at my plants and new growth, or just random other things. And bye. See you later.